What's up? What's up? Gotta do my pregame before the White Lotus starts. Fuck yeah. What up? What up? ACDC. Sorry about last night. As soon as I did my started my backstage stream, I was about to walk in on three people having a meeting. So, I saw you log in and I'm like, oh fuck. But here we are again. All right, just doing some last minute promoting. Yeah, no, it's too bad. I was feeling it last night. But let me see. The skincare routine is all over the place, to be honest with you. I do a lot of serums, moisturizers, retinol. Um, I love Bumba that you love blood in, blood out as much as I do. In your dreams, Pedro, in your dreams. Staying out of the sun has definitely helped me, although I still do have sun damage on my nose from 25 years ago. That's kind of hard to get rid of. Unfortunately, I mean, if I knew then what I know now, but you never do, so it's kind of silly to say. What else? Drinking a lot of water. I mean, probably the worst thing I do is drink these energy drinks. That kind of dries out your skin, but yeah, I mean, and I go overboard with my skincare, but I'm also 56. Oh, thank you, Tim, very much. Report of a topless woman in my neighborhood throwing trash. I saw her, and it ain't a pretty sight. What up, Nower? I'm putting up the clips, good or bad. Some are, like the last two, the crowd was real tight. So I'm not killing, but I think it's important to show clips where you're not killing. I'm not bombing by any stretch, but I can feel myself closer and closer breaking the algorithm. Well, I mean, 60's young to me. I mean, in terms of good skin, it's really, if I could give you one bit of advice, Greedo from Star Wars, it's a deep cut, is stay out of the sun. I mean, I was a tanning maniac in my probably early to mid 20s, because when you're in your mid 20s, early 20s, you never think you're going to get old. I remember one time I got into a fight playing hockey with this guy who was probably early 40s, but he looked older because he drank a lot. I'm like, fuck you, you old creep. And he just looked at me and goes, enjoy your youth while you got it, because one day you're going to be my age. And I'm like, fuck. I like the camera angle at the club. It's dead on center. There's also another angle I haven't used yet, and it's stage left. But I am 56, Iris. Yes, I am the ruler of the world, like Sid Vicious. Sup. Just doing a stream before The White Lotus, season 3. I'm inspired in my comedy through White Lotus because the writer, Mike White, he was so desperate and broke, he went on Survivor. Like he had nothing going on. And he had nothing, he was broke. And no gigs coming his way. And he comes up with the idea for the White Lotus, and now you don't have to worry about gigs coming his way anymore. It seems a bit high up looking down a little bit. I did graduate in 86, 1980. It seems a bit high up, looking down a bit on me. What are you talking about? Reported for tax evading. Mike White was? You look like you have missing kids in your basement. Well, not really. I don't have a basement, to be honest with you. They're upstairs in the second bedroom. See what I'll play with a troll a little bit. I mean, I'm 56, and like my, let me see. Um, I mean, you definitely recover slower. Oh, the camera angle is too high. Well, I mean, let me do this. How's that? Um, I mean, you definitely recover differently. Um, I mean, it's just your body doesn't necessarily break down, but it just, you have less testosterone and less recuperative powers. What up, Queen on from Phoenix? Like I play hockey, and I used to in my 20s. I literally there were games from 7:30 in the morning till 9:30 at night, and I was on like 5 or 6 teams. It's a league with different levels and whatnot, and I would play all day into the night. I'd be about a 45-minute drive home. I don't like Seinfeld. Nothing personal, it's just not my sense of humor. And I'd go out that night, and on Sunday be at the rink again at 7:30. I mean, my recuperation powers were that of a superhero. And now I play one game and I'm tired, and I wake up the next day sore. But you know, excuse me. Um, yeah, I mean, Canada. Well, Canada Finland has a lot on the line for both teams. Um, I don't really like comedians. What up, Kip Smith? I mean, depending on the results of that game, U.S. Sweden. I mean, U.S. is in the finals, so it doesn't matter if they win, lose, get blown out. Um, does Canada or does U.S. rest Hellenbuck? Some of their, Kachuk's not playing, um, and so it'll be interesting to see their approach to the game. I mean, of course, you don't want to lose, but they're likely going to play Canada again. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, tomorrow's a big day for this tournament. Um, how do I make my money? Well, that's a little personal. Stand-up comedy and voiceovers. I knew Whoopi Goldberg's husband back in the day. His name was Lyle Trachtenberg, and he was a real pussy hound. So I don't know how he did it. Um, One of them, what was that out for me? Don't ever get old. I was like, I mean, I don't mind being my age. I feel amazing in terms of like my lungs, my heart, um, and all that. My brain was never really high functioning, but, I don't um, feel like I'm losing my mind or anything. Yes, I don't know Ted Danson. I knew her husband after Ted Danson, Lyle Trachtenberg. So, you can, like, in my hockey league, even though I'm down to playing one game, I'm still one of the better players in the league. And I'm playing against guys um, 25 to 30 years younger than me. No one has a harder shot than me in the league. Frank Langella, Skeletor, great movie. Who's your favorite Asian? I don't really have one. Bruce Lee, I guess. And the great thing for me is the older I've gotten, the deeper my voice is getting for whatever reason. So that's great for voiceover work, to be honest with you. Um, Kevin Major Howard died? When did he die? Wow, what a bummer. Let me look that up. Kevin Major Howard, he had when I used to work at a gym, this is, yes, no all caps, except for Peter Chicken Man Brennan. Wow, what a bummer. I used to work, it's probably the last job I've ever had in terms of like a job. I was a trainer and a receptionist at a gym on La Cienega and Holloway, which is a big intersection in West Hollywood. And he had a photography studio next door. Oh, wow, he did die. 69 years old. Let's see. So, well, rest in peace, Kevin Major Howard. Respiratory issues is official cause of death. Oh man, that's too bad. Well, um, but here's the funny thing about death. I'm around so much death myself. When you told me that, I was sad for a minute, and now I'm like, okay, I got to do a stream. Because he was in a Dirty Harry movie. He had a great scene. But he became, I mean, I don't think he ever quit acting, but he became a very sought after headshot photographer. Um, Now the camera's too low. Let's see. Sorry. So, that's big business out here. Although very few agencies and managers and whatnot do headshots anymore. IHOP on Sepulveda, north of National. I don't recall going to that one. Although I did go to, what's the Johnny's Pastrami? We would play hockey every Sunday nights at the Culver City Ice Rink, and I think it was kind of illegal. I think we broke in. Someone had a key or something. I think Bruce Thomas, OJ's mailman, he had a key, and it was the most ragtag group of guys. OJ's mailman, Rocky George from Suicidal Tendencies. Yeah, I mean, trolls, if you're saying something about my looks, my age, whatever, I'll guess I'm one of the better looking people, if not the best looking person in the stream. So don't worry about my looks. Concentrate on your own. You probably could be stunt doubles for Seal's right cheekbone. Oh, I thought you meant the camera. I'm sorry. Well, no, yeah, I mean, well, it's in the sound booth, which is, I mean, if you've ever been to the Comedy Store, I don't know who has or who hasn't in here. Like, if my face is the stage, the sound booth is like up here on an angle. So, I don't, I mean, it really was an amazing bunch of just freaks. I used to pick up the guy on Sepulveda and or was it Pico Morgan? He was the editor of Larry Flint's magazine Busty Beauties. So yes, people like that. My friend Mikey D, who was like a freelance writer for Soldier of Fortune. So he would give me all these weapons. He would like the DEA and all these wacky, like, shadow company type, special forces. They'd give him like Rambo knives, and he would always give me some. Nicole Simpson was the OG for black dudes, 100%, 100%. Robert Davi, it's one of my favorite celebrity stories. Earl, who are you? Well, that makes me feel good. I'm a stand-up comic in Los Angeles, baby doll. Is when I first started opening up for Rob Schneider, he would play this game with me. um, where he would be like, name any celebrity. And I would say Robert Davi was the first celebrity I named. And he reaches into his phone, he calls Robert Davi, and I got to talk to him. I mean, Rob Schneider's cell phone is everyone's in it. Earl, I was a Trump voter, but I did not vote this year. Um, so I haven't been to that hockey rink TV in quite some time. I call everyone baby doll. So sorry about that. It's nothing personal. Billy Squire, that one video killed him. I have played at Pickwick. I used to play. I don't know what brought me to this pickup. I think it was I worked at Family Fitness in Beverly Hills, and someone invited me to play at Pickwick, and I played. It was like, what was it like? It was afternoons. It was weird, and I haven't played ice hockey in quite some time. So yes, don't make me what, baby doll. Now, having your name on the Comedy Store wall is quite the honor, but there's a couple names on that wall that should not be there. But you know, what are you going to do? I mean, I missed that Sunday night. I mean, I've told this story before, but I remember that's where I first heard of Guns N' Roses. Rocky George was like, Earl, we were in the studio, and next to us is this new band. It's like 5 dudes who look homeless and they stink, but they're going to be the next big band. I'm like, hey, you should check out this band, Britney Fox. They sound just like Cinderella. And he was like, who decided to? Well, I guess the booker of the club right now, her name is Emily. And before her was Adam Egget, who now is the booker of the mothership. And is the new Cobra Kai out? I mean, I finished what was, you know, they haven't done a nice rollout for the final episodes. 100%. It should be America first. It's where we live. Videos regarding requests. I don't know what you're talking about. Homeless problem is bad in Los Angeles. I have no idea what you're talking about, officer. Uh, 1, 2. We're all friends in here, man. But when I say baby doll, I'm just fucking around. I call everyone baby doll. What do I think of Kill Tony in Austin? I mean, I've done Kill Tony like 5 times. The first 2 times I was a replacement for the Iron Patriot. If you're a fan of the show, you remember him. If not, you don't know who that is. He dressed up in like some Captain America costume and whatever. And then I think I was on the panel like 3 or 4 times. And I don't know. I never really had a good time on the show because I actually, you know, I'd gotten my roasting out with Roast Battle. So when I did Kill Tony, I wanted to give back. So I would give like actual feedback. Because I really don't think it's impressive to roast some open mic level comic and they just stare at you and take it. And you got like Tony as backup, Red Band as backup, the soundboard full of sound effects is backup. You've got a band as backup, and then you've got like 2 or 3 celebrity judges, friends of Tony. And so I would be like, hey, you should try this joke this way. And the crowd would look at me and go, that's not what we're here for. So I was on the ones where I was on a panel. My last one was with Jim Norton and Sam Roberts. And then I was on one with Michael Costa, and then one with Michael Lawrence. And I think one with Kirk Fox. That's pretty funny, actually. B40, B40. Um, Mandingo, you're about to get the boot. Excuse me. This is not carbonated, and Mandingo's making me gassy. I mean, I don't know if I find Kill Tony hilarious, but like, I understand why it's popular. Um, I think Kill Tony is basically the new Gong Show, which was a very popular show back in the 70s. Yeah, sorry about that burp. This isn't carbonated, so like um, when I'm getting trolled and drinking this. But here's what I don't understand about this. Let's talk about spam for a second. Well, chill guy, that's your prerogative. Mandingo, you're just saying who you looking at. I don't know what. That's not funny. It's not even spam, really. Yes, hit the like button for Earl, please. Can we? I think you can. I think Tom Myers has a YouTube channel. Um, oh, Hans Kim. I mean, I know Hans. He's a nice enough guy. He's kind of doing a Bobby Lee thing. I mean, it's not terribly innovative, and it's a lot of the same shtick. He's kind of like an Asian William Montgomery, where William's funny for like 5 minutes, and then you're like, okay, I don't know if I want to watch this for an hour. Um, yeah, I mean, like, listen, he's a nice guy, but I think the bad thing about Kill Tony is that it conditions these kids to do 1 minute of comedy, so they don't really grow as a comic, and then you get a following from it, like Hans and William and David Lucas. They got followings enough where comedy clubs, that's all they see. They don't look at the joke videos that those three put up. They just, hey, they have about 80,000 followers, let's headline them. And they don't have 10 minutes, let alone an hour. So it's really, um, be careful what you wish for. Can you make a call and get a gig? For me, yeah. For you, probably not. Well, damn, dude, what do you look like? I don't know what that's referring to. Um, well, Mandingo, I've never been married, and so you're shit out of luck on that one. You should do your research on me before you talk shit. So, I mean, some of you trolls really are unbelievable. Um, but I let you in here, so can I give you? No, you cannot. Oh, I'm sorry, TB. I didn't answer your question. I never got into Lynch Mob, even though I became friendly with the singer, not Oni Logan, Robert Mason, who auditioned for Rat, and he's now the singer in Warrant. Um, I love George Lynch, but I was never a big Docking guy, to be honest with you. Yeah, what a great. I mean, that's probably the best start I've ever seen to a hockey game because it wasn't scripted. I don't think, it wasn't like that Devils Ranger game from back in the day with John Tortorella coaching, where it was pretty much orchestrated. There's going to be a 5-on-5 brawl to start the game. And the fact that the Kachuk brothers, uh, were in on it. And, shout out to JT Miller for fighting a guy who's probably 5, 6 inches and 30 to 40 pounds heavier than him. Um, well, that's the great thing about this stream is, you get a lot of new people in it, but the bad thing is some of these new people are trolls. But, I'm at the level on my YouTube channel that, I can't not have trolls in here. Listen, if they hit the subscribe button, you can say whatever you want. Did I ever live in New York City? I've vaguely thought about it, but at my age, I'm not going to start over in another city. It's just, I mean, I'm fairly established in LA, and although I'm known in New York, and I don't think I'd have to start from the bottom, I'm not going to go on at 2 a.m. at the Cellar after Dave Attell. Obviously, Dave Attell's great, but those are the spots that I would be getting. Yeah, Crosby. I mean, it helps to have that team around him. Um, And here's the problem. I mean, that game last night sold the game of hockey to America, but you can't have that. These are the four best rosters on the earth outside of Russia's roster, which their team was fucking unbelievable. I mean, wow, it's a shame they're not playing. But because of their war with the Ukraine, yeah, I've met Kevin Connolly. When I did Sean Avery's podcast, I think it was on Kevin Connolly's network, at least at his business office. So he was a very nice guy. We talked about hockey. Um, so, you can't have that type of game we saw last night with Columbus playing, San Jose. So it's going to be the league definitely that's going to, and if they meet in the rematch Thursday, Canada and U.S. I mean, wow, that's going to be an all timer. Does the Armenian mob still run Glendale? I'm not really involved in the Glendale scene, so I don't know. Russia, I mean, Slovakia would have had a good team. I mean, if you were to rank the teams in order of good to bad, I mean, obviously you've got U.S., Canada, and Russia, and they're interchangeable. And then you've got Sweden and Finland, who are close, but they can't match the power of those three teams. And then you've got teams like, what up, Wayne? You've got teams like Germany, who, could field a decent team, but, they probably wouldn't win. And then like Slovakia, they'd have a pretty good team. And then you kind of feel bad for someone like Anze Kopitar, who comes from Slovenia. Um, I don't know, Queenon. Canadians are big, man. We got our butts handed. Well, I mean, I don't think I think my analysis before the game was I think Canada has the better forward group. I mean, the skill level on Canada's forward lines is just unfucking believable. Defensively, I think slight edge against the U.S. defense, but I think the U.S. has the clear advantage in goal. I mean, you know, Hellenbuck is fucking unbelievable. I don't know why his game yesterday isn't being talked about more, but he made probably 4 to 5 point blank saves, like point blank good opportunity saves. And it's not that Bennington's played bad, but he hasn't played great. Hellebuck's played great. You've let in 2 goals in 2 games. So I think, I mean, it's a big game tomorrow for Canada against Finland because that also will, the U.S. is going to be watching and it will dictate how they play tomorrow night against Sweden. I mean, the U.S. is already in the finals, so like I said, I could see them resting Hellenbuck or, maybe putting in Ottinger or Swayman, hey, just in case. Maybe they play both, like treat it like a preseason game, half and half. Someone's going to be filling in for Kachuk. So, it's going to be, it's been good for hockey. But like I said, I don't know how you take the momentum from this and put it in regular season hockey, which, I've been to regular season hockey games the last couple of years. It's like you're watching a practice. Shit, my TV just came on. Time out, time out. Talk amongst yourselves. Sorry about that. It might have been, yeah, soft timeout. So this weekend has been good for hockey. In terms of the LA Kings, I think Adrian Kempe has played very good for Sweden. He's probably been their best player. Drew Doughty last night, he's the one who made the pass to McDavid, who is unbelievable to watch in person. If you have not done so, please go see Connor McDavid live. It's like watching a video game. Um, but Dowdy played a good game last night, although he got wrecked by Brady Kachuk. Yeah, bench warmers on repeat. I'll take that. I get some money, honey, from that. So, and then, the trade deadline's coming up. What is it, February 16th? I think that's in like 3 weeks. So that should be interesting to see what happens with the trade deadline. I mean, it's pretty tight right now in this league, and you got teams. Vegas will do something wacky, and Edmonton will. Yes, Lois is coughing and sleeping at the same time, and I do look like berry jelly because I am berry jelly, baby. Wayne Fraser donated 5 Earl Skakel memberships. So you guys, thank you. Say thank you to Wayne Fraser in the house. We'll do another half hour, guys, and then I'm going to watch The White Lotus. Who is the LA-born hockey player named Miller? I don't think. There's JT Miller. I didn't know he was born in LA. I know Steve Moore was. Not Steve Moore. Trevor Moore was born in Thousand Oaks. I think Jason Robinson was born in California. Well, thank you, Dislabeled. Craig Cox was from, I believe, Chino, California. A strange hockey city. Yes, White Lotus new season is tonight. Now, come on, President. We don't talk like that in here. Defenseman. I don't know. TB. I'm not sure on that one. California is, I wouldn't say it's become a hockey hotbed, but there's a lot of NHLers from California. Yeah, Craig Cox, one of the great mid to late 80s enforcers, is Brett Hall. He's one of the great goal scorers. And speaking of Brett Hall, there's that guy Harley on Team Canada defense that he was born, I think, in New York, and he didn't make the U.S. underage team, but his dad was from Edmonton, so he's a dual citizen. So he's like, fuck you guys, I'll play for Canada. That's what Brett Hall did. Brett Hall is actually Canadian, but a very similar thing. He didn't get picked for one Team Canada thing, and so he's like, fuck you guys, I'll just play. My mom's from wherever she's from in the States. I'll play for the U.S. So, President, you're speaking a language I know nothing about, baby. So if you're a dual citizen, you can really pick, you can be by country, I guess. Yes, I love me some Walton Goggins from Sons of Anarchy, The Shield. I see him hiking from time to time at Runyon Canyon. I saw him the day after I saw him debut in Sons of Anarchy. His, was it Venus Van Dam, the trans cross-dressing trans woman on Sons, and he knew I was about to go up to him and go, hey, good job. And he's like, bro, I'm with my wife and kids. But he was still very nice to me. Oh, that's interesting. I don't, how often do you hike? When I can. Parking is really tough for Runyon Canyon, which is the big hiking spot in LA, so I don't do it as much as I should. President, you got to say something funny, or you're going to be put on 24-hour timeout. Like, come on, man, you're clogging my stream with your bullshit. And when I put someone on timeout for not being funny, it's bad. Trust me on that one. So please, may the next thing you type be funny, or you will be put in timeout. Yeah, 100%, Rudy. All right, baby doll. I'll see you number 12 on the internet at some point. And thank you for coming in. Hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. And are you afraid of getting lost and dying while hiking like Julian Sands? No. Or the MMA fighter Evan Tanner. Now I'm just drinking regular water. Thank you, number 12. Everything helps. Yeah, a drink sponsorship would be nice. Yeah, I mean, every time I'm on Runyon, I see a celebrity. I mean, not necessarily A-list. I've never seen a mountain lion. I've seen coyotes. There was a famous midnight hike. I forget. It was right around Griffith Park Observatory where a couple of the Comedy Store waitresses turned me on to it. And I went up there after work, 100% B40. And I had Lois with me, and a couple of the waitresses and I went up there, and there were some coyotes, definitely. So, and also when I take Lois for late night walks in Beverly Hills, um, there are coyotes that come down from the mountains to rummage through people's trash. And Kenya, I'll go with Kenya, disabled. Um, yeah, I just saw that one on Evan Tanner. I mean, I think he wanted to die, though. I don't know if that was necessarily an accident on Evan Tanner's part. I'll guess he had CTE and he was just like, fuck it. You know, because he fought in the era of UFC where they didn't really make a ton of money. And he was one of the more popular guys. So I would say that he kind of, you know, was at the end of his career. You know, he didn't really set himself up for, you know, listen, one thing you got to say about Schaub is he set himself up for a career in either announcing or comedy. You know, there was at least hope, podcasting, there was at least hope for him to make money and not have to get your brains bashed in. Um, so, how about RIP to his family that he murdered? Or are you one of those conspiracy nuts? You think it was Kevin Sullivan and Devastation Incorporated? And where was the kid's tag team partner? Come on. Um, so, you know, that's very interesting to see what will happen. Um, yeah, I mean, you know, I just think some of those guys, and some of those guys from Evan Tanner's um, era, you know, like Don Fry set himself up to be like the go-to guy to be interviewed for all these things and announce, you know, certain fights. And, you know, Bob Sapp has had a long career. Uh, you know, Boss Rutan, the king of Pancrase, has set himself up very nicely for movies, TV shows. Um, so um, I'm an AEW man. No, I did not see a picture of his computer setup. I am excited. I mean, there's a few that I don't really care about, but I can't wait for the Vader one. And uh, you know, I think there was another Ludwig von Borga or something. I was like, I don't really care about that one, but you know, that might be a good one. Um, I mean, yeah, Randy Couture did well. I mean, Liddell's done well. You know, he set himself up to be the wild party guy. Shamrock has done well. You know, he got into wrestling, and you know, I just think someone like Evan Tanner didn't. You know, it's like when I said earlier that you know, when you're in your early 20s, you never think you're going to get old. And here I am at 56. I think those guys who fought in the UFC during the Evan Tanner period probably thought they'd fight forever. And it just doesn't work like that. I mean, this, you know, it's like that scene in Predator where Carl Weathers says, well, hey, we're all expendable. Those guys in the UFC at that time frame, they never got that speech. So, I mean, I don't know if I would, even if you said, Earl, do you want the Benoit autograph? I'll ship it to you for free. I don't think I'd want it. What up, Ryan? Yes, King of the Pan Flute. It's weird. I have no interest in watching the SNL. I haven't watched SNL since they fired Norm. So, and I don't, they haven't broken someone in a very long time. And, obviously there's been a lot of talented people on the show, but, a lot of my friends who've gotten on it leave 2 years later. It's just very political. And, someone like Punky Johnson, who's Comedy Store paid regular, she's been horribly misused, in my opinion. My friend Aristotle was on it for, I think, one season, and they misused him, and he's really funny. Um, so, Who Shot JR? Maybe the last great whodunit. Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's the same show as it was. I mean, I just think they've been chasing the first cast ever since. They've never found a cast that good. I mean, that first cast was just OGs. They were there on the ground level. And there have been some successful eras of the show. The Sandler, Schneider, Spade era is a huge era. Farley, but that first cast just had such magic. And I just think, it's just a casting. We need an Asian guy, we need a gay guy, we need a girl who looks weird. We, so I just think that it's part of their success isn't so much what they've done; it's that there's really no competition. I mean, Mad TV gave them a good run, but for whatever reason they stopped. In Living Color gave them a good run, but the problem with Living Color is once Jim Carrey started getting heat, he left to do movies, and same thing with David Allen Greer and Keenan Ivory Wayans. Um, well, I still think, I mean, and on Who Shot JR, they shot like 15 different people doing the killing. So even the cast didn't know. That's how tightly guarded of a secret it was. Um, Earl, what is the best LA band ever, and why is it Van Halen? Well, I think you just answered your own question, but I don't know. I mean, they were just innovative at the time. I mean, Eddie Van Halen really changed the way the guitar was played. I mean, David Lee Roth, although technically not an amazing singer, probably the best front man ever. Um, Michael Anthony's backing vocals were essential to the sound. They could kind of cover for David Lee Roth's vocal weaknesses. And, Alex Van Halen doesn't get credit for being a great rock drummer, but he is. So, um, they were just a perfect group, and live. I mean, there was like nothing that can compare it to. I don't feel bad for David Lee Roth. The amount of pussy that guy got was staggering. So much so that it led him to dick. Yeah, I mean, there's some great LA bands. Obviously, the Doors, the Beach Boys. If you go into the '80s metal scene, Motley Crue and Rat, Quiet Riot. Um, so many great LA bands. But I mean, Van Halen's probably the one. Yeah, so am I. I mean, I got the chills watching. I mean, I don't know if I would say Black Flag is the best LA band ever, but they're up there. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I mean, Suicidal Tendencies. I'm not saying Suicidal's like the best LA band ever, but, locally they had a huge following. I mean, it was quite an era from, say, probably 75 to 85. Um, I like David Lee Roth better. Who's better, the Cars or Boston? I definitely think the Cars have the bigger song catalog. I mean, Boston, Brad Delp's vocals are unbelievable, and Tom Schatz's, innovative, almost scientific like guitar playing is pretty dope. But I'm a Cars guy. They just had a bigger catalog of songs. I mean, because Boston, outside their hits like Amanda, Don't Look Back, and More Than a Feeling, you struggle to name a Boston song. Whereas with the Cars, I think you can name more. Yeah, I mean, the Eagles, definitely. But it's hard to say, LA band because most people aren't from LA. So, like, like Poison was a band, and I'm not saying Poison's like the greatest band of all time, but, they were an East Coast band, but they made it in LA. So, were they an LA band or were they a band from Pittsburgh? Um, you know, yeah, I mean, Metallica's, from Northern California, Journey, The Tubes are a great Northern California band. So that's cool. You don't like it. I mean, I love it, but yeah, but that's the thing, though. I mean, Poison was formed in Pittsburgh, but they quote unquote made it in L.A. So are they an L.A. band? Queens of the Stone Age was just the singer was just at the Comedy Store for some show. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, Earl, the guy from Queens of the Stone Age is here. Do you want to meet him?" I'm like, "Not really." Um, it's like, where are the Killers from? Brandon Flowers is from Utah. I think Dave Koenig is from Idaho. Is it? I think Mark Stormer's from somewhere else, and then Ronnie Manucci, the drummer, I think is from Vegas. So I guess they identify as a Vegas band because that's where they got their chops, but they actually kind of made it in the UK first. So, that's like Kiss, it was a New York band, but they kind of came to LA to make it. So it's tough. I don't think Metallica will ever quit. There's just too much money to be made. And a lot of people are like, well, they already have money. But, when you're on Metallica's level and you could play a one off concert in, I don't know, Montreal for $20 million with, Hetfield and Lars, um, making a significant amount of that $20 million, you do it. I mean, I'm sure the bass player, um, Robert Trujillo, even though he's been in the band a while, he probably gets a little less than the others. So, um, that I could see. I don't think they'll ever stop touring. Not many people can sell out arenas, man. You got Taylor Swift, Metallica, and then you could do a package deal, I guess, of like Elton John and Billy Joel. They could probably fill in a football stadium. Be an older crowd, but they could probably do it. Um, but I mean, Kiss couldn't even fill a football stadium. I mean, you could probably fill a football stadium with. I mean, I don't. I mean, I think you could do Van Halen with Wolfie on guitar. He's pretty fucking good, man. And Michael Anthony on bass. But I don't know if David Lee Roth or Sammy Hagar would be down for that. Um, I don't do OnlyFans. I do have a Patreon that I'm revamping. I'm trying to figure out a way. 10 more minutes, guys. 10 more minutes. Well, you probably can. I mean, I remember when Motorhead did their, I think, was it their 20th anniversary or 25th anniversary at the Wiltern, and so everyone was there. And of course, I was dating one of their managers, so I had an all access pass, and I'm walking around and I see Phil Taylor, filthy Phil Taylor. I'm like, "Hey man, you gonna get up there and play tonight?" And he just looks at me and goes, "I can't play drums anymore." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, I forgot how to play, man. My mind is gone. I mean, at least he was honest. Um, Chad is revamping his Patreon. Well, what I want to do with my Patreon, and I think this will be a great uh, gift, is the Comedy Store tapes every set in the main room, and so I have about 50 main room sets, um, fully recorded. Sounds awesome because the crowd's mic'd, and I want to put up one maybe every 2 weeks on my Patreon, full set. So I'm trying, but for some reason I'm having trouble doing it. So that when I say I'm revamping, that's what I'm trying to do. Favorite Canadian band, Brian Adams, I guess. You too, Todd. Thank you for hit the like and subscribe button if you have not done so already. I don't even know what Locals is. I mean, I'm happy on YouTube, and I don't think anyone's going to strike my YouTube channel. I mean, I don't really do clips or anything, so I'll stay on YouTube, and um, I'm pretty happy with what I get on here. I mean, I have a rare whatever of excitement. I never found that excitement on TikTok because I was just like, I don't get the humor on here. I'm too old to be on here. But with YouTube, it's my jam. No, I'm actually really happy, to be honest with you. Um, Periscope was fun. I mean, Periscope is really what made Roast Battle, because all of those shows were recorded, and Comedy Central executives, Comedy Central passed on Roast Battle like twice. They didn't like the show. Jeff didn't like the show either. I literally had a friend of mine tell me that Jeff went up to him and go, "Who's going to want to watch a show with Earl and a bunch of unknown comics? We need celebrities." And look how wrong he was. Um, Message help for review. Yeah, George, you're a fucking idiot. Uh, yeah, I mean, check back. I'm trying to put up one right now, and it's just for whatever reason it's not letting me do it. So check by Tuesday, ACDC. And I'm not trying to get money from you. I mean, but hopefully by Tuesday, at least one new full length set will be put up. Yeah, I mean, Periscope was the Wild West, no doubt about it. Thank you, Mr. Sudbury. Brian, I'm going to call you Mr. Sudbury if you don't mind. So, I mean, I have no delusions of grandeur of getting rich from Patreon, but I think I really want something that goes on my Patreon that people will pay for. Like, oh fuck, a full set every week. Now, a lot of the jokes are going to be the same, just because when I do 45 minutes to an hour, I gotta go with what I know works. That's the one bad thing at the Comedy Store is you can't really fuck around up there. The people paid a lot of money to see a comedy show, so I can't really explore new jokes until I have the crowd eating at the palm of my hand. Well, let's see before we end the stream what Lois is doing. She is sleeping right now. Um, her anxiety bed is underneath that. She has positioned this blanket. Um, so, well, I think what I was torn with, the reason why my Patreon isn't the best at the moment was, I really have been trying so hard the last year to put up any content on YouTube to build the channel that I didn't want to hold content for Patreon, because Patreon, I think, is for people who 5 more minutes, guys. Let's get to 50 likes, pretty please. I don't listen to Jim Stansel's podcast. I know Jim, but I don't listen to his podcast. I think Patreon's for performers who are strictly about the money. I'm going to put up this content so people will pay for it. And I respect that. For me, YouTube is, I'm using it to build a following. If I'm doing that, I don't know. But So yeah, oh, my dog lives the fucking life. Trust me on that one. Um, okay, just a random Tom Dreesen. The money, honey. Show me the money, honey. And if you can't show me the money, honey, show me the like and subby. If you need some old school funny songs, check out Bird and McDonald. Lois is a queen, no doubt about that. I don't know who they are, TB. So check out John Valby if you want some funny songs. I'm from Los Angeles, California, baby. No, ever since I had skin cancer on my forehead here and here, I don't go to the beach at all. Who does a YouTube stream with no super chats? Well, apparently I do. So, but I'm not doing. The streams are really a great way to get more subscribers. So, I do remember Dr. Demento. That's where I discovered Buckner and Garcia. Didn't they sing Pac-Man Fever? I got a pocket full of quarters and I'm going to the arcade. I got Pac-Man fever, heading to the arcade. John Valby sang these really perverted songs like knock knock, who's there? I said knock knock, who's there? I said knock knock, who's there? Tijuana. Tijuana who? Tijuana, bring your mother to the gangbang. Oh, yes, you do. It's been a long time since she's had a screw. When she was younger and in her prime, she used to gangbang all the time. That's John Valby, Valby. Yeah, I remember Sunday nights, Dr. Demento was awesome. Yes. We got 2 more minutes, guys. 2 more minutes in the house. What was another John Valby song? Well, high school punks come over the border. Their wallets get thin, their dicks get shorter. Hey, Baribo. I know a senorita, her name is Roxanne. She uses a tortilla as a diaphragm. Shalom, shalom, everyone. This has been a fun stream. Thank you very much. 65 likes. Shalom, shalom. We'll do another stream tomorrow night. I don't think I have it in me to do another hour stream later, but never say never in the Earlverse. I'm full of surprises. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's weighing it. Knock, knock. I's an hour late for the gangbang. Oh, yes, I am. Fuck, I forget that rest, but I don't know. I think it was Pauly Shore. One of the toughest decisions I've ever had was Pauly last night after his set said, "Hey Earl, let's go to the Rainbow," and I'm like, "Pauly, I have to close out the main room," but I knew if I went to the Rainbow with Pauly, I'd probably get some pussy. But so I chose stand-up comedy over getting some beaver. Now, after this stream, I will be watching The White Lotus. Thank you very much. Craig, I'm not sure what that means. What topics do you cover in your set, Half Hawk, Half Man? Well, it's not a name drop. It's just a reality of what happened. I cover everything. Politics. I am a comedy soldier. My personal life. I had a funny breakup story last night. Talk about TV shows. What's the conversation about? The conversation is about I'm about to end the stream, Casey, and watch the new season of The White Lotus, baby doll. Tell us your Matt Damon story. I don't have a Matt Damon story, to be honest with you. So sorry to disappoint you. But last night was fun. There was about I mean, by the time I went on, the room out of say 400 seats, I think there's about 285, close to 300 people still in the room. They were still there. They were hot. They were a hot room. So it's all right, Johnny Lamb. You can always just watch it. Hey, let's get to 70 likes, man. I'm gonna get greedy. Um, so yeah, it was fun last night at the Comedy Store. Yeah, I remember the good old halcyon days of pirate radio when they would literally play Bon Jovi's "Born to Be My Baby" on loop. What percentage of comics run the light? I would absolutely say 80%. And I get it. I've had some sets where you're just feeling it and you don't really, you get the light, but you just keep getting laughs and you don't, I mean, but I've rarely run the light. Especially when I know that they could walk on me. And by walk on me, I mean, sometimes a comic's doing so well on stage, and if there's someone after them, the crowd doesn't care because in the crowd's mind, it's like, hey, this person's doing so well. I don't see the comic after them being better. Let's go. So, how expensive is the Comedy Store? It's not expensive at all. I mean, the the parking's expensive, but it's got nothing to do with the Comedy Store. The hotel next door, I think, is $25. I think Pink Dot, which is the grocery store where you can park, that's about $20. There's a metered lot in between Pink Dot and the Comedy Store. That's the most economical. It's $4 every 2 hours, but then you got to keep running out there to re-up. So yeah, we don't do shout outs, Mason. Sorry about that. 2 drink minimum, and you can. There's VIP booths. I think you can sit in Mitzi's booth, which is awesome, but I don't know how much that is. So people are paying, I think, anywhere from $20 to $100. So it's not quite that expensive, but it is an expensive night out from the standpoint of, um, you when you can take into consideration dinner. So, now dinner's not on the Comedy Store, but it's part of the evening. So, if you're say taking a date, um, dinner's anywhere from $100 to $200. If you're paying for a VIP booth, that's another $100, let's say. Um, so that's $300. Parking's 25. Let's say 325, and then if you go out afterwards and drinks, who knows how much that is. Plus the 2 drink minimum at the club. It's a couple $100 investment. So, you know, it's now not like I said, not all of that is on the Comedy Store, but it's I guess part of the evening of going to the Comedy Store. Well, you pay the hooker $200 not for the sex, but to get out. Yeah, tipping. The 2 drink minimum, so that's probably depending on what you get, hard liquor or just a beer or a bottle of waters. 4 drinks at the Comedy Store, it's probably $40. So if you tip, which I hope you do, it's another depending on if you're a big baller or not, it's another $10 to $20. So thank you, TR Card. Hit the like and subscribe button, please. All right, you kids, this has been a fun Sunday night stream. I appreciate you guys being in on the ground floor of the Earlverse. And I appreciate all the likes and the new subscribers and all the comments. Thank you to Kip Smith for moderating this one. And Earl Skakel, over and out. We'll see you this week, and I'll give a review of the new season of The White Lotus, starring the Shield and Son of Anarchy's favorite son, Walton Goggins. Yes, YM. Are you seriously that guy from Kill Tony? Well, I mean, I'm not really from Kill Tony. I was on the show, I think, 5 or 6 times, but I have no Yes, give me a shout out. Give me a shout out. You can give me a like. You can give me a subscribe. Give me a comment on a video. Or you can just watch a video. I'd honestly rather have a new subscriber than money. Of course, if people tip me, like William Zoom, I'm a bartender. You like what you heard, tip me. But, what cracks the algorithm ain't shout outs. It ain't super chats. It's comments and subscriptions. So I went to college a little bit at Santa Monica Junior College. Thank you, Casey, for spreading the word. AC/DC, I'll see you later. And chilling with Lois, yes. I love my baby dog, Lois. She's the fucking best. Me and her mother have decided that we give her, 2 to 3 years. We take very good care of her. Earl Skakel over now. Actually, you know what? I'll go to 70 minutes. I'll give you guys 3 minutes because you guys have been good to me. We are all comedy soldiers in here. I'm taping the White Lotus, so don't worry about it. You guys, little dogs do survive longer, but the problem is when they get sick, they struggle a little bit because everything is they have little hearts, so they can experience more difficulties with a little heart. Who took away their like? We were just at 71 likes, and someone took away their like. You son of a bitch. But big dogs also have like hip dysplasia problems and whatnot. So, by the way, quick review of AEW Dynamite or whatever it was called from Australia. Pretty good. I mean, Tony Storm won the belt against Mariah May. Kazuchika Okada beat Buddy Matthews, who is from Melbourne. I thought they would let Buddy win it. And Hamburger and Omega and Ospreay beat Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher. And then the Death Riders defeated Jay White and Edge. So it was a pretty good card. I'm not saying it was for a free card, it was pretty good. I can bring others into the stream, but part of the thing I'm trying to separate myself from other streams is I don't have guests on. I talk. I hit record and I talk for an hour. It's much tougher to do it that way. I don't stream snipe. I don't think I did, Hero Zach. Where's Connie Lingus? Where's Peter Chicken Man Brennan? Is Peter Chicken Man Brennan going to the goddamn comedy jam tonight? Getting some nuggets of info for me for the next stream. 40 seconds, guys. 40 seconds. We don't do Jesus talking here, faithful servant. And where was Jesus the night the guy jumped off a tower too, burning to his death? Jesus took 9/11 off when he was on his lunch break. I don't want to bring one of my viewers on. Why the fuck would I do that? Because no viewer is going to keep up with me. So it would not be good. Okay. Well, I mean, West Shore, usually I only take requests for the money, honey. Because if I do every request for free, then everyone's going to be like, hey, do this, do that, do this, do that. Whereas if you have to pay for it, it's a little more meaningful. But because you are a comedy soldier, you know how much more people would be in this stream if I just did a Comedy Rumors podcast and named names? EA Sports. It's in the game. $500 I'll have you on my stream. You got to pay to play and show Earl the money, honey. Thank you, Wet Short. 72 likes, 72 virgins. That's what we got in here tonight. Earl Skakel over now.